Okay, whenever you are.
All right, we're ready?
Sure.
All right, well, my name is Keith Cufo with Long Island Fire Door. I'm an outside installer. I've been a carpenter for 37 years in the union. They sent me here to go over the maintenance manual with you gentlemen. As you can tell, it basically tells you all the different manufacturers of the hardware in the book. It tells you any tech support you need, their numbers in the back for each. In case you need parts to order, it tells you exactly who to contact, whether it be a lock from Sargent, weather stripping from, NGP, Securitech, Stanley. I mean, as far as maintenance on the locks and the doors, periodically you should walk around like every 3 months and just check the function.
Okay.
You know, like from winter to summer, things can change with air pressure.
Mhm.
You have to adjust closers.
Okay.
You know, you got lubrication, you shouldn't use WD-40. You should use like a graphite spray. But WD is good for a quick fix.
Mhm.
It does work, but it doesn't last long.
Yeah.
So that's, another thing. I mean, it tells you in the first, third page, if you go in, it says like the general information, basic maintenance and cleaning required. And then it'll tell you like number 2, inspecting. Inspect you periodically. More so the self-closing and latching of the doors more than the weather stripping. That you do spot check, periodically. What else? Like I said, there's a pretty good catalog here. It tells shows you all the hardware that you guys received.
Okay.
And then you can just follow up with the manufacturer and tech support if you have any questions. Continuous hinges are pretty much fail-proof. Those are good hinges. The locks can be tricky, I'm sure you're aware of that. I mean, what else we need here? Once the building starts getting operated, you'll see stuff will change, whether it's closers being used more.
Yeah.
They will change. If you notice, when you install a closer, you can go back to it 2 days later and it's doing something different.
Mhm.
Sometimes it might be cold where it was sitting, now it's in the building, the fluid warmed up, it works better.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, temperamental. Let's see, what else? You guys see any major problems at all? Anything? I mean, this is just a new building here we're concerned about, correct?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's like a nice, up-to-date, modern,
Mm-hmm.
all the hardware changes daily, different functions, different hardware. I mean, I know they have heavy duty as the psych center.
Yeah.
So they got all heavy duty tamper-proof. I mean, like a tech support, they can tell you any size screw heads you need to get the tamper-proof tool.
Oh, okay.
T10s, T15s, those are basically a common, T25. Sometimes if, you have to file a strike, if the door sags or something, you might have to file a strike. Because those continuous hinges, you really don't pack like a regular.
Yeah.
You can, but they're pretty good. They don't sag unless people start wedging stuff in them.
Right, and they go to the door. and then-
The brooms go in there from the
Yeah.
cleaning people.
Mhm.
It happens. That's like our worst nightmare.
We got it in the other building. They do
Yeah.
the same thing.
And the continuous hinges too, they're doing it too?
Some of them are, and some of them ain't. It's the 3-hinge, but
Yeah.
they always chuck things up.
Right, yep, that's the biggest problem. They don't understand it. Get a rubber shock or a piece of wood
Yeah,
underneath the
put it
door.
underneath the door, right, how tough is that? you
Right,
know?
or put your broom on the ground, let the door hit the
Yeah,
frame that way.
yeah.
Never shock it open at the
No.
top.
Never.
Because it drops, doesn't line up, it doesn't latch,
Yep. That's our biggest problem here.
right? Everything else, do you have any questions as far as anything?
You, reverse overhand the lock, you have a lock here?
I don't have a lot,
You don't
no.
have a lock, okay.
The reverse, yeah, they didn't tell me anything about reversing locks or, that you can go through tech support.
Right, no, I'm pretty sure it's universal, I just thought maybe there was a, we normally deal with clothing restaurants, but the sergeants, it's pretty much the same function.
Sergeant is easier too, yeah, a lot of times they just have that one screw, you move on the other
Right,
side,
right,
you pull the latch,
right,
you flip
You
it.
just pull the latch and do it,
Yeah.
okay.
The tricky ones are accurate lock bodies. They're hard because they have a heavy spring in them.
Yeah,
So you need an 832 screw on the back side of the cover. You put it in where the hub is.
All right.
And then once you take the cover off, that holds the hub so the spring doesn't go flying.
All right.
My biggest problem is after I put everything back together, I forget to take the screw back out. I put the lock in, and then the handles are jammed. I'm like, son of a gun, take it all out. But yeah, but that's the accurate is the most difficult one to reverse.
Okay.
Sergeant's
Majority
easy.
here are sergeants though, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sergeants. And the closers, you can wind them up if you need, like if you see they're not really working strong enough,
Yeah.
you can wind them, but I would only go about 3 winds at a time, 3 full turns.
Mhm.
If you overwind it, then it could cause problems. Same thing with the valves, the adjustment valves.
Mhm.
You know, when you're going counterclockwise, that's pulling the pin out.
Okay.
Eventually that pin's gonna come all the way out.
Yeah.
And then once the door cycles, the fluid shoots out like a geyser. You don't want that. So always do like a half a turn at a time. Let it work about 5 times, and then if it's not good, do another half a turn.
Okay.
And most of them are counterclockwise, speeds everything up.
Mhm.
When you turn the valves clockwise, it'll slow everything down.
Oh, okay.
Except for the back check. When you go clockwise, that makes it harder.
Mhm.
So you'd open up the back check. But if you open up the latch speed counterclockwise, the door will go.
Okay.
So that's one thing to remember. That's why I always say go half a turn first, and you'll know right away, oh, I went the wrong way.
Mhm.
You know, it'll slow down.
Oh, okay.
And that's the biggest adjustment you'll need from summer to winter,
Mhm.
air pressure,
All right.
you know. What else? That's really it. I mean, like I said, any other questions? You want to take a walk around and look at some stuff?
You wanna
I
see
mean,
the
the lock, I mean, even though the trim handles are different here,
Uh-huh.
they can throw you off. It's just a trim handle. The lock body's the same.
Okay.
Right away they look, oh no, what kind of lock is this?
Mhm.
It's the same mortise body as anything else, like Corbin Russwin, Sergeant.
Okay.
It's just the trim handle's different, you know, the fancier trim.
Oh,
Like
okay.
the hospital pull ones they have, you know, these here are the fancy turn ones. And it's just the same thing, just a spindle,
Mhm.
cylinder hole, turn piece.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're all the same, really.
All right, you wanna see one?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Look at it. Okay. 20,
It's a T20? Okay.
T15 or I like T25.
These aren't sections, right? They're just right into the door, that's it? You don't have to get on either side?
I believe there's a stud on this side, so yeah, they would be through bolted through.
Okay,
But all you do is take this off, this piece comes off, so this will come off.
okay.
Okay, and that's it. I mean, as far as lubricating, all you have to do is just take the faceplate off,
Right,
and you
keep
can
a
shoot
loose
through that
ring,
way.
so open, yeah.
That's the only thing, because you'll hit everything from there. We'll get to the spindle.
Do you, would you have this door? I just want to have a look at the set screw. Is it a regular set screw inside there?
Yeah,
Not
it's the
tamper
same
resistant?
exact
Okay.
thing, yeah, it's
All right,
regular set
good to
screw.
know, good to know.
Sometimes they're Allen key, sometimes they're Phillips.
Uh-huh,
It depends on what, you know, the update.
right.
And the hinge, I guess it's really missing a closer, obviously. Like I said, the hinges are good. Like a piece that's nice. Why do you have that? Electric hinge? Yeah,
This one? Yeah.
that's
yeah,
why, it's
so-
the electric portion of your hinge
Oh,
then.
okay.
Okay. Sometimes they'll have a piece at the top only. This is a different manufacturing. I like that better. You don't have to drop the door to get to the wire. Like,
Exactly.
some of them, it's a continuous electric hinge, and you gotta
So you
try to
pull
drop the
the
door.
door
Those
off,
wires are so fine,
Mhm.
that, you know, you wind up scoring them.
Now, as far as the bedrooms, I was told there's like a multifunction, lock on both sides or something like that?
Yeah, we're gonna take a.
Yeah, I would like to.
Yeah, let's take a look at one of
yeah.
those. This here, so they can open the door and look in.
Okay, and that's the key?
It's like a Dutch door almost, yeah, just a key, a little lock, it's a little deadlock, that's all that is.
Right, would you, you wouldn't have a key to open this, huh?
No.
It just lines back up and you turn it.
It's just like a regular deadlock, like a closet deadlock. You just
Okay.
unlock it, you look in, everybody okay in there, and you lock it back.
And there's nothing you're gonna move when you just put it back on?
Yeah, that's it. It should be on a pivot. It
Yeah,
should
it should
pivot
be.
right over. Yeah,
Oh,
you
it
got
does move entirely,
a
okay,
pocket
yeah.
pivot
All right,
right
I
in
see,
here, yeah.
yeah,
So it'll
okay.
pivot out.
It'll pivot out and you just put it back in and...
If they open the whole door, they figure somebody's gonna bum rush.
Right,
So now
right.
they can open up and it's okay, he's sleeping.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
instead of opening the door, making all this noise,
And if
you're gonna hear that. These people sleep lightly, some of them.
And this is basically the same setup as before, right?
Yeah, they can't lock themselves in.
Right.
You know, I did Pilgrim State years ago, and the patients would barricade the beds against the
Yeah.
door, and they can't get in.
Yeah.
That's another reason for this.
Mhm.
You know, 'cause it's gonna swing in
That's
to the
exactly.
hallway and they can get in.
And that's keyed to the same as the bedroom lock?
It's
or-
supposed to be,
It's
yeah.
supposed to be, okay.
I'm sure the staff is gonna have a master key. Right now, this is a construction code.
Right, yeah, we gotta change them a lot.
Yeah,
To our
yeah,
system,
so they
but,
should be keyed the same, without a doubt.
Okay, good to know.
Mhm.
And we got continuous image.
Bathroom, you have the bathroom, you get the patient goes in there, same thing, they can look in, what's going on. They're all bedrooms?
That's it, yeah, these are
Do
all.
we have one of those, like a seclusion room, we can look at, is that up, or is it the same function?
The seclusion room is
Same.
over here.
Padded room, I don't know what they have.
Yeah, that's over this way.
Oh, I think he says.
That way?
Alright, I'm not sure, I haven't been there.
But they all should be the same first, the same key.
It's hard to tell you what to look for as far as malfunctioning.
Yeah.
Every situation is
It's
different, you know?
sure.
Because they'll stick pens into the lock latch and
Yeah.
stuff like that so they don't function. There's a lot of different things. I'm sure you guys look experienced, you've been around, you know what to look for.
Yeah.
The manual is the best bet because it gives you all the contacts of the hardware. You know, they need to order a spring from the lock. You don't have a seclusion room?
Seclusion room?
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Okay, alright, I guess it's the same setup.
They're all the
then,
same
right?
setup.
Yeah.
You know.
What do we got, 5 floors?
Yeah.
Basically all the
Oh,
same.
no, same.
Alright, yeah, I guess, we'll check out Pelican, we'll do, that's all the same, right? Yeah.